All right, let's talk about something that sounds a little crazy. Today, we're going to connect two worlds that could not seem further apart, a high-pressure 1970s car dealership and the super strategic multi-million-dollar world of modern B2B cloud sales. I know, it sounds nuts, right? But the secret to absolutely dominating tech sales today might just come from the greatest car salesman who ever lived. So let's dive in.
So this is the guy, Joe Girard. And this one quote, it's everything. He knew deep down that the most important product he had wasn't the car on the lot. It was the trust and the relationship he built with every single person who walked through that door. So, did this whole sell yourself thing actually work? Oh yeah, just look at this number, 13,001. That's how many cars Joe Girard sold one by one from a single showroom. It's a Guinness World Record, people. And that wasn't an accident, it was a system. And that system is exactly what we're going to break down today.
So here's where we're headed. We'll start with our unlikely mentor and his timeless rules of the game. Then, we'll translate them for the modern B2B world. From there, we'll get inside the buyer's head to build a new playbook, all leading to one single goal, becoming the first call.
Okay, so this gets us to the big question here, what I'm calling the Girard paradox. What on earth can a guy who sold a ton of cars, one transaction at a time, teach an expert selling massive, complex cloud solutions to banking CIOs? I mean, on the surface, it makes zero sense.
And this chart really lays it all out. These two worlds are polar opposites. You've got fast, high-volume sales to one person on one side, and on the other, slow, strategic, high-value deals sold to entire committees over months, maybe even years. Look, we're not trying to copy his exact moves. The real gold is in translating his core principles about people and trust. All right, so let's dig into those principles, shall we? We've got to look past the cars and the shiny showroom floor to really get what made him so successful. It's all about the human stuff.
First up is this famous law of 250. Girard had this idea. He figured the average person knows about 250 people they care about. So for him, every single customer wasn't just one sale. No way. They were a doorway to 250 potential new customers if you made them happy. Or you'd tick one person off and potentially lose 250 deals. It's basically the original network effect.
Then you've got his absolute mantra, selling yourself. This is what we started with. Before anyone cared about the engine or the price, they had to buy him. They had to trust Joe Girard. The relationship was the real product, and the car, that was just the receipt.
And this is genius. He didn't just hope for referrals, he built a machine. He called his network bird dogs. Basically, people he'd pay a finder's fee to for sending him a lead that actually bought a car. He literally turned word of mouth into a predictable money-making engine for his business. Incredible.
Okay, so here's the aha moment. How in the world do we take these old-school car lot ideas and make them work in the huge, high-stakes world of B2B enterprise sales? Well, the translation from the showroom to the boardroom is actually surprisingly direct.
And bam! Here it is. This is the Rosetta Stone for this whole idea. His law of 250? That's what we call the network multiplier today. Selling yourself becomes something much deeper, being the trusted advisor. And those bird dogs, they become your B2B evangelists. The core idea is identical. It's just the scale and the stakes that have changed.
Think about it. In the B2B world, this whole law of 250 is on steroids. A single happy CIO doesn't just know 250 random people. They're connected to a powerful network of other execs, board members, and top industry analysts. One great experience can open doors you could never dream of knocking on. Your reputation is literally everything.
And this idea of selling yourself, man, it gets a massive upgrade. In enterprise sales, it's not about being slick or just likable. It's about becoming a trusted advisor. We're talking about unshakable competence and character, because a CIO's entire career could be on the line with these decisions. Trust isn't a nice-to-have. It's the only thing you're selling, and it requires total honesty.
So to really make this land, you have to get inside the head of the person you're selling to. Why does this trust stuff matter so much? Because you need to understand what keeps a banking CIO up at night. Let's take a look at their battlefield.
First things first. Their number one worry? It's not your cool features, it's not even the price, it's risk. In banking, a data breach or a compliance mess isn't just a bad day, it's an absolute catastrophe. So every single decision is viewed through a lens of managing risk.
And on top of that, they are wrestling with a monster. Decades of old, clunky technology. These ancient systems are a huge roadblock to innovation. Trying to migrate off of them is a massive, incredibly risky undertaking.
Just look at this chart. It says it all, right? That massive chunk, 40%, is all about security and compliance. That's their world. Right after that is modernizing those legacy apps. If you get this, you stop selling a product. You start selling a partnership in safely managing risk and driving innovation.
Okay, so now that we're in their shoes, we can build a playbook that actually works. We're going to take Girard's principles and forge them into 3 solid pillars for any modern B2B pro.
So our modern playbook is built on 3 core pillars. First, you have to cultivate your personal brand to become that go-to trusted advisor. Then, once you've got that trust, you build a system. You operationalize referrals to grow your network. And finally, you tie it all together by mastering consultative closing. So pillar 1, this is all about becoming the Joe Girard of your specific world. You're the go-to expert on, say, legacy app modernization. This isn't just randomly posting on LinkedIn. It's about creating a strategic content engine that solves your buyers' real, tangible problems. The goal is simple. Your reputation should walk into the room long before you do.
And pillar 2, this is straight out of the Girard playbook. This isn't about hoping for referrals. Now, it's about building a system. You find your true champions, your evangelists, and you give them incentives they actually care about, like co-marketing or exclusive access to new stuff. This is how you turn referrals from a lucky break into your most powerful, predictable source of new business.
All right, so when you put all this together, when you build the brand and you operationalize the referrals, you get to the end game. The goal isn't just to make one sale. The real goal is to build a reputation so powerful that you become the very first person a CIO thinks to call when they have a problem.
So, if you remember one thing from this entire explainer, let it be this. Selling yourself in today's B2B world has nothing to do with being slick. It's about methodically, deliberately building an undeniable reputation for expertise and trust. When you do that, the big opportunities don't just come to you, they seek you out.
So I'm going to leave you with a question. A challenge, really. Take a hard look at how you operate. Are you just trying to sell a product and hit a number? Or are you playing the long game, building the kind of reputation that makes you the first and maybe the only call they ever need to make?